That was Wes Montgomery with Jimmy Smith from Further Adventures of Jimmy and Wes with Road Song. You might be familiar with that one as a title track from a previous Montgomery album. We also gave you Moon Song from Rahsaan Roland Kirk's We Free Kings and Bill Evans with a lovely version of Without a Song from You Must Believe in Spring. We wouldn't dare think of leaving you without a song. And even when we're gone, Brian Dope has you covered with a whole lot of music to get you through drive time. Our final song comes from Paquito de Rivera. It's a song for someone very near and dear to him. From the album Blowing, this is Paquito with Song to My Son on 88.3 WBGO.
What is jazz? Jazz is like rock. It's something we recognize when we come.
I think Louis Armstrong said, if you have to ask, you'll never know.
Jazz expresses core American values.
Jazz is WVGO Newark, 88.3 FM, and WVGO.org.
Live from NPR News in Washington, I'm Lakshmi Singh. The leaders of the United States, Japan, and the Philippines meet this hour about fortifying their alliance against a common threat, China. They're expected to address the Chinese government's military expansion, territorial disputes, and expanding economic influence. From the South Korean capital, NPR's Anthony Kuhn is covering the White House talks.
President Biden and Japan's Prime Minister Fumio Kishida are expected to show support for President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. in the Philippines in his face-off with China in the South China Sea. In recent months, Chinese Coast Guard ships have obstructed and rammed Philippine boats and hit them with water cannon. This is the first summit of the three nations. The U.S. hopes to construct a lattice or network of bilateral and multilateral agreements among Asian nations to help maintain its regional influence while curbing China's. Japan and the Philippines are also upgrading their own bilateral ties and are expected to sign an agreement this year giving their armed forces access to each other's territories. Anthony Kuhn, NPR News, Seoul.
O.J. Simpson has died. His family posted a message on the social media platform X. Simpson passed away yesterday of cancer. He was 76. The former NFL star and broadcaster was one of the most celebrated sports figures of his time, elected to both the college and pro football halls of fame.
I'm gonna let you guys down, man. I'll live up to the honor of being in this hall and being on your team.
But his fame was overshadowed by what came to be known as the trial of the century. In 1994, Simpson was accused of killing his ex-wife, Nicole Brown, and her friend Ronald Goldman. His criminal trial the following year highlighted issues surrounding domestic violence, celebrity, police corruption, and race. Many Black Americans applauded when Simpson was acquitted, and many white Americans were stunned. The civil jury later found him liable for both killings. United Nations aid workers say they came under fire while waiting to cross through an Israeli checkpoint in central Gaza this week. NPR's Carrie Khan has more.
UNICEF spokeswoman Tessa Ingram says she was riding in a 3-vehicle caravan on Tuesday that was struck by gunfire coming from the direction of an Israeli checkpoint.
This is not something that should happen at any point to a UN convoy, but let alone one that's on a coordinated mission at a designated holding point where we were asked and authorized to wait.
She says none of the aid workers were injured, but workers continue to face dangers despite assurances of improved safety by Israel after 7 World Center kitchen employees were killed by an Israeli airstrike. Israel says they were mistakenly targeted. UNICEF says Israeli military have not responded to its inquiries. Military officials did not immediately respond to an NPR request. Carrie Khan, NPR News, Tel Aviv.
The Dow is up slightly at 38,459. You're listening to NPR News. Several elite colleges, including Harvard, Stanford, and MIT, have received failing grades in a new Anti-Defamation League report evaluating schools on protecting Jewish students from anti-Semitism on campus. NPR's Alyssa Nadmorning with details.
The New York-based Jewish advocacy organization graded 85 American universities on their policies related to fighting anti-Semitism on campus. Only 2 colleges received an A, Brandeis University in Massachusetts and Elon University in North Carolina. Reports of anti-Semitism on U.S. college campuses grew after the October 7, 2023 Hamas attack on Israel and the subsequent military response. One university president was fired and another resigned, in part for their handling of campus culture amid the spiraling tensions over Israel's war on Hamas in Gaza. The ADL report took into account active litigation and investigations involving the campuses, student activities, and campus policies. Alyssa Nadworny, NPR News.
The wife of imprisoned WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange says her husband's case, quote, could be moving in the right direction. So Assange has spoken with BBC a day after President Biden said the United States was considering dropping charges against Assange. The Australian citizen's been imprisoned in the UK for 5 years while fighting extradition to the United States. He is wanted on espionage charges for leaking large amounts of classified documents without government permission. The Nasdaq has closed up 271 points, or more than 1.5%. I'm Lakshmi Singh, NPR News.
Support for NPR comes from NPR stations. Other contributors include Jones Day, an integrated partnership collaboratively providing legal services for more than a century. 42 offices, 5 continents, serving clients as one firm.
I'm Doug Doyle with the art of the story. The LaGuardia High School Jazz Orchestra is taking a trip to Copenhagen, Denmark later this month to collaborate with the top upper secondary school of music there. The St. Anne School came to New York City last year to play with the LaGuardia students, and now has in turn invited band director Kevin Blanc and his jazz orchestra to enjoy a week of learning and playing.
The peer-to-peer learning that takes place is really what not only makes LaGuardia a pretty special school in the sense that I think the kids learn more from each other. I've been here over 20 years, and I think the kids learn more from each other than they do from the teachers in some respects. And we certainly set up circumstances and situations and structures for them to work in, but then they take a lot of initiative to do a lot of things within that framework that templates high level of achievement. Relating that to Copenhagen would be the fact that when they were here last year, we were able to collaborate in a variety of ways. Their culture is quite different, and it's really interesting. And so what they bring to the music and what we bring to the music here in New York, I think has a lot to offer the students in terms of, increasing their perspective and awareness, global awareness. And there's all kinds of ways to make this relevant.
One of the orchestra members is 16-year-old Deanna Sherman, who plays a number of woodwind instruments. She's excited about the performances and the interaction with the students in Denmark.
Honestly, I feel like the part that I'm looking forward to the most is just being able to connect with students that are from a different country, because I've never had that experience. I've never done collaborations with people like that, and I'm think the cultural difference and things like that. Because I live in a city, I know what that's like, but I don't know what it's like to live in somebody else's city, or to experience what they experience, and just seeing the differences and similarities. I'm so curious to see what that's like.
Deanna also says the atmosphere at LaGuardia High School is special.
It's a completely different thing to go to a high school where everybody's just they really have purpose with what they're doing. And this trip specifically, we're all we've worked really hard to get to this point, and I think we're all just excited to really be able to share this with each other and the Danish kids.
Deanna says she became a jazz fan while listening to WBGO in the car with her parents, Bill and Rebecca Sherman.
Jazz is what music's all about from my standpoint. My daughter's brother than I am, because she's classical and jazz, and she's really finding the place now. It's a magical world. It's what I'm going to say. And I lose myself in the music all the time.
Deanna has created an Instagram page, Lag Jazz Org. But that's how she popularized the GoFundMe that we're using to raise money, and I'm really proud of her.
The LaGuardia High School Jazz Orchestra's spring concert in New York is this Friday. You can see the entire interview with the Shermans and band director Kevin Blanc on the WBGO Facebook page. I'm Doug Doyle, WBGO News.
WBGO on 88.3 FM, WBGO.org, and on your smart speaker by saying the words, play WBGO.
Swing, that's a thing. You gotta dig it. Fast, loose, give it a try. Go, go, go. Swing it, swing it, swing it. Put the pepper in the pot, and that'll make it sweet and hot. 'Cause you're swinging, swinging, swinging. Swing, that's the thing. You gotta dig it. Fast, loose, give it a try. Go, go, go. Swing it, swing it, swing it. Swing it, Jackson. Thanks for that shit. Oh yeah. Stir it up, stir it up, stir it up, stir it up. Hey, hey. Golden exposure. Thanks for you, son. Oh yeah. Stir it up, stir it up, stir it up. Everything's good, son. Roll. explosion makes you feel some. Oh yeah. Stir it up, stir it up, stir it up, let the juice get some. Oh, shake that pretty little buttermilk, top it up, top, 'cause I'm just getting please don't stop. Woo, turn it up, steady, go get it. I'm living my dream, swinging like a rusty gate. Oops, I can't get some other swing. Don't you run with it, Benny down did it. Wait a minute, yes, just about turns. It's his thing, that's swinging like the swing. Nobody can define you, it's swinging and it's trying. It's swinging, swing the collie. Steady on magic, moving through behind it. Round and rolling, falling. Just swinging and swinging, what they call it. Anyone was it, saxophone, from Pollard, Bertie, Fighter, singing, basic, with Bowden, be regarded, swinging. Now, everyone's hip to the tip. People second times you crazy. Everyone takes that thing. Everyone likes to fling. Everyone likes to swing.